Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. We're going to get started. If I can have somebody close the door in the back, yes, just in case we get one. Okay, welcome. My name is Yvonne Gonzalez. I'm the CDC Plus trainer and statewide coordinator. I'm here to assist you today with the presentation. This presentation is geared for new representatives or consumers. Okay, those of you that are already on the CDC Plus program, this will be like a refresher to you. And what I would like is that if you have any questions that come up throughout the presentation, that if you filled out this pink form, if you don't have the pink form, we have some white pages in the back there. So if you can put your questions on here, okay? Because hopefully I'll answer them throughout the presentation and you'll get an idea of what the program is about. So today's presentation will be what is the CDC Plus program. I'm going to describe it, state all the different responsibilities of the different persons involved, and give you some small updates of what's happening new. The Consumer-Directed Care program began in the year 2000 as an 8-year research and demonstration project, as a pilot program. Some of you have been on since the beginning. And then after 3 successful years in January of 2004, it entered the demonstration phase. In March of 2008, it became a Medicaid state plan, a permanent Medicaid state plan option under the 1915J. That is what allows family members to be providers for their own consumers or individuals. As of today, as of June 1st, we now have 2,032 consumers self-directing their care. And we are very pleased with that. Forgot to point out that I am also a representative for my 2 children who are on the program. I have a daughter who's 13 and a son who's 23. And I was telling someone, I remember when I first started the program, I said, what do I have to do? I have to do all these documents and all these things? Can somebody help me? So I'm here to help. I'm here to give you technical assistance. I remember that when they started in 2009, and basically I want to walk you through it. So what is it all about? It's a long-term care program. It's based on the principles of self-determination and person-centered planning. It's based on the individual, what her needs are, what her goals are. And you will be able to direct that by listing. You have the freedom to decide where and with whom you will live, authority to decide how you will live, support the individual will need to make his decisions, control over the resources needed for the individual's support, and most importantly, you will have responsibility for all the decisions and actions. We have a lot of flexibility with the program, but we have a lot of responsibility as well. So you will control what services and supports are needed, who your providers will be, whether it's an employee or an agency, when they will be given, during the day or in the weekends, where, out in the community or in your own home, and how the supports and services are given. You will be, the representative will be the person training that employee on how the supports will be given. So let's say you're interested in being in our program, which you are today. You need to first be enrolled in the Developmental Disabilities Medicaid Waiver, now known as the iBudget Waiver program. If you're on the waiting list, you need to be enrolled in the program first, in the Medicaid waiver. And live in your own home or family home. You can't be in a group home. You will need to take a training, CDC Plus training, which consists of similar to what I'm going to today, but it'll be about a 6-hour training, 9 to 2. The next training I will be having is on July 30th. I had mentioned to a few persons in the, if you, next to your signature, if you can tell me that you're interested in the training. It's going to be a webinar. I do that so that we can assist as many people throughout the whole state. You can do it from your own home. You don't need to go anywhere. And after you take that training, you need to pass an open book readiness review with a score of 85% or better. And then you will need to select your consultant. She is your waiver support coordinator who's been trained in CDC. You will next need to fill out the application. It's a 2-page application with the IRS form. Because remember, now your son is the household employer and he is opening up a small household business. This next step, or the first step, would take about 45 days. Once you're enrolled in the program, you will be asked to write a purchasing plan. So you would start thinking about the employees you want to hire, and you would have them interviewed and then background screened. And then each of those employees will fill out what's called an employee form or employee packet. It consists of all these other forms, W-4, I-9, the affidavit of good moral character, and direct deposit form. If you hire an agency, you would do a vendor form. So some of the building blocks into getting the purchasing plan. You would have your support plan, just like you do now on the waiver. And then you would have your cost plan. With those 2 pieces of information, you'll be able to create what's called your purchasing plan. How am I going to purchase those supports and services? There you will list all your employees, what their rates of pay are, and what services you'll be using. You're going to have your monthly budget. How does that get calculated? Well, you're going to take your cost plan, have all the services that are listed there. You're going to divide them by the number of months, probably 12 months now, because we have the new fiscal year. Cost plan was coming up now on July 1st. And you're going to have a discount rate of 8% and a 4% administrative fee. Okay? And that will become your flexible monthly budget or monthly amount. We're going to give you guidelines of what's allowed on the program and what's not allowed. So you're going to have some services that you know you would be purchasing, but you're going to have some other services additionally that you will be able to save for. This is what the purchasing plan looks like. This is just the first page, just basic information. It's in Excel. It's only 6 pieces of paper. We'll walk you through it when I do the training, and you'll be able to develop it. So I like to compare what is the difference by staying on the med waiver or the iBudget waiver or moving on to the optional program of CDC+. Well, with the iBudget cost plan, we have service families called life skills, supplies and equipment, personal supports, therapeutic supports, transportation, and dental. And you must use the same Medicaid waiver providers with their established rates. Okay? You don't have any choice with getting other providers. When you move on to CDC+, you have your cost plan minus your 8% and the 4% administrative fee, which will give up your reduced budget. And you have additional services that are not on the waiver. One of them is advertising. You need to hire someone. You need to put an ad in the paper. You can save up for that funding to be reimbursed for the advertising. Seasonal camp. A lot of the kids in the program are minors. You know that it's really important for them to go to summer camp. We get justification, put it on your support plan, and then you would transfer that information into your purchasing plan. Personal response system, therapeutic equipment. I had someone ask, well, what happens when I need my wheelchair fixed? You need to go first through Medicaid or Medicare. If they don't reimburse you for that or they don't pay for that, you get a denial letter, and you can request the other adaptations that you need for the wheelchair through your savings. Okay? We have specialized training and other therapies. someone needs massage therapy. I can save up because I'm hiring my employee at a lesser rate than the provider will be if I had to hire them as an agency. The example I always like to use is the PCA comes in at $15 an hour for a minor, $15 an hour. I take my 8% and my 4%. That will be $13.20 an hour. I pay my employee $10 an hour. I have $3.20 an hour that I'm saving up for. That $3.20 an hour keeps adding up for 40 hours a week times how many months? 12 months. That becomes a big amount. My employee is happy. She's getting paid at a higher rate than the agency would have paid her. My children are happy, and now I have extra funding that I can purchase either additional hours of personal care assistant. I can get respite. I can send my son to the summer camp. I can have him have massage therapy. Whatever is important for that consumer, that individual, that meets his needs and goals to make him more independent and have a better quality of life. That's what we want for all our children. Okay? So you're going to be able to negotiate the rates, hire your employees, train them, and submit the timesheets and invoices for these employees or these agency vendors. What we have is called restricted services. These are services that are restricted. You need to purchase at least 92% of the units of measures for them. So let's say I ask for occupational therapy. I need to use that same occupational therapy. I ask for 12 hours, 92% of that is about 11 hours. I need to have that 11 hours in my purchasing plan and use it up for that. I have that 1 hour left that I can convert into an unrestricted service. So all these services need to be used identically. They can't be interchanged. Respiratory, speech therapy, these are services that meet medical necessity. You need to get a prescription for, so you cannot interchange them. Then we have what's called unrestricted services. These can be interchanged. They are not under any medical necessity. So let's say I had adult day training 5 days a week. My son or daughter decided to go 3 days a week to the adult day training. Now he wants to have 2 days of companion. He can do that. You can do that on the waiver as well. It's a quite simple way to do that. But let's say he felt something else was more important to him. Maybe he wants to go to the gym. He wants to take part of that funding from that adult day training and add or use it up for the gym membership. Or perhaps maybe he wanted to go and go to supported employment. Probably, maybe he wants to take some of that funding to go get a job. He can use that with transportation. He can maybe go to some specialized training that he needs. Or perhaps he's an adult, needs some consumable medical supplies. It's not paid through Medicaid. You can now save for it, save for that item or that service, and get it through the CDC Plus savings. All right, so we're going to go into some of the roles. The participant is the consumer or the individual, the representative, the consultant, the area liaison, and the fiscal employer agent. So I have some of the panel here that are going to assist me with this. So the first one is the representative. My son or daughter cannot sign all the forms. He needs to get a representative. He needs to be at least 18 years of age. And it's going to be someone that does this voluntarily. He will not get paid or benefit from any other business or authorized to provide any of the service for that participant. So the first person I have is Trisha Madden. She is a representative for her son, and she'll explain to you what she does.
I think this is almost the beginning point where most people get scared about trying CDC Plus. It sounds horrendously full of details and paperwork. My son's been on the program since almost the very beginning, 2001, and I love it. And when I